knew that Jesus was innocent, but yet he did not have the courage to declare it. He knew the evidence. The evidence is sitting right in front of him. But Pilate could not make a decision. Pilate lacked the courage to make a stand for Jesus Christ. You know, you might see Jesus or God working in your life. You've seen the evidence in your life with maybe family, friends. But yet Jesus is trying to get your attention right now. And for some of you, you think you're here in the army, especially during this week. You think, you know what? God doesn't see me. He's missed me. My friends, I'm here to tell you, God sees you exactly where you are. He knows all the hairs on your head, no matter how short they are now. God sees you exactly what's going through in life. He hasn't forgotten about you. The question is, oftentimes we've forgotten about God. We're the ones that have left, not God. Amen. And today, you have a chance to come back home. Come back to God. Maybe you grew up in a religious family. You've seen the evidence. You know the evidence. You've seen your family's lives changed. But yet you rejected that because you said, you know what, that's not for me, that's for them. And you pursued your own way of life. But today, you're going to have a chance to come back to God. Come back to Him. I'm going to give you that chance in a few minutes. But here, Pilate was a man who had to make decisions. He knew that Jesus was innocent, but he couldn't declare him innocent. He lacked the courage. And so he said, you know what, I'll just have Jesus flogged. Just beat him almost to death. And Jesus' back was shredded to pieces because Pilate couldn't make up his mind about Jesus. But yet the religious people, they weren't satisfied. They didn't want Jesus flogged. They want him killed. And so while he was sitting there and Jesus was there on trial, per se, and Pilate was sitting in his seat like on a little throne right here, about to pronounce judgment one way or the other. And Pilate's wife comes up and sends word to him and says, hey, honey, do not do anything to this man. He is a good man. He is a righteous man. Do nothing to him. Don't do anything. He's a good man. Pilate gets this warning. Now listen, I've been married. I just celebrated my 12th anniversary. And so, thank you. I got 3 wonderful kids. And sometimes I think about sending them off to boot camp right away. Yeah. You wouldn't guys survive my son, I can tell you that right now. 4 years old, he'd run you guys around. But here, I've been married 12 years, and in those 12 years, I've learned something. When your wife gives you a warning, you listen. There's a smart man down here right now. You got to listen. One thing I did when I was close to many of your age, I got my pilot's license. When I went to college, I got my pilot's license. When I came out of high school, the only thing I wanted to do was to go into the Air Force. Sorry, don't hold it against me. I know, I said a dirty word, Air Force. But I was wanting to go into the Air Force, but guess what? My eyes. I couldn't pass my physical to become a pilot. I had bad eyes. And back then, they didn't have eye surgery. And so I couldn't do it. And so but I still wanted to be a pilot. So when I went off to college, I got my pilot's license. And one of the things they train you to do is that when you get into the air, then they start doing things to the airplane. They make warning lights start to go off. They make your airspeed drops where you're about to fall out of the sky. In other words, they want to train you. They want to push you to the edge. Just like they're going to do while you're here, they're going to push you to the edge so they know how for you to make a decision under stress. And that's what I had to do. I had to get into a plane and put the plane into weird things. Things that normally you wouldn't want to do. And why? So your warning lights and your signals will go off. And when those things go off, you had to react. Like big blinking lights, and they're going off. And you had to react. I had to change the plane. I had to change directions. I had to switch fuel tanks or whatever to keep the plane. Listen, you don't want the plane to come to a stop in the air. Hua? You don't want to stop in midair. That's not good. You want